A disruption in the force, KTM 790 Duke vs. Triumph Street Triple R. You'll see a theme if you scroll back the last decade or so on MO, we have a thing for the Triumph Street Triple. After numerous rides and shootouts each time it gets updated, it's safe to say we love that little 675 cubic centimeters 3-cylinder. The sound it makes is outrageously cool, the power it delivers is fun without being overwhelming, and the overall package is an absolute blast. Yeah, the looks are kinda polarizing, but none of that matters once you twist the grip. Get the Flash player to see this player. Then, lo and behold, Triumph one-upped itself and upgraded the Street Triple at the end of 2017 as a 2018 model, giving it a significant bump in displacement, up to 765 cubic centimeters, much to the grins of dyslexics everywhere. Of course, the magic of 3 cylinders didn't go anywhere, and the new bike was once again a hit amongst us all. Tom Biceps Roderick seriously considered buying one when he walked out the proverbial MO door on his way to self-employment. Meanwhile, we all liked it enough to name it Motorcycle.com's best standard motorcycle of 2018. And by it I'm talking about Triumph's top-of-the-range Rs version of the Street Triple. Contenders for the Streety's crown have come and gone, and while some have done better than others at swaying our opinion, at the end of the day our hearts have always gravitated back to the Triumph. KTM's response? Challenge accepted. Okay, we seriously doubt this was actually said inside some KTM board meeting, although it'd be great if it were, but when it comes to benchmarking an existing model for KTM's new 799 cubic centimeters parallel twin, Team Orange couldn't have picked a better target. Of course, we all know the result, the 790 Duke. Our European friends got to taste the orange Kool-Aid a year before we did, but when Evans came back from his 790 Duke first ride he really loved it, as in, he was thinking of ways to buy one without pissing off his wife. Naturally, our response was to put the KTM head-to-head with the Triumph to see if our favorite little triple could hold off yet another challenger. If you need detailed overviews of each bike, click on the links above for a breakdown. Keeping things apples to apples. Naturally, we do our best to keep comparisons as fair as possible, and the basis of this starts with price. The 790 Duke only comes in one flavor with pricing set at $10,499. With that, you get a potent 799 cubic centimeters parallel twin which, as you should know by now, is a first for KTM, pumping out 98.0 HP and 60.2 lb-ft to the rear wheel on the MotoGP Works dyno. Accompanying the twin is an electronics suite featuring adjustable, and switchable, traction control, ABS, power modes, and best of all, a quick shifter in both directions. Brakes are twin 300mm discs with J.1 radial mount 4-pot calipers in the front, 240mm single disc and 1-pot J.1 caliper in the back. WP handles suspension duties, pun not intended, but cheaps out a bit, offering a non-adjustable 43mm fork and a shock with just preload settings available. The Street Triple, however, comes in a variety of flavors, from the $9,950 S model on up to the $12,550 Rs. While the latter gets all the bells and whistles like a quick shifter, only for upshifts, 5 ride modes, Brembo M50 calipers, Öhlins shock, and the most power in the range acclaimed 121 HP and 57 lb-ft, the price moves it rather far away from the KTM, especially considering the Triumph also comes in an R version starting at $11,250, much more in line with the 790. For that price, the R gets Brembo M4.32 calipers, show a big piston fork and adjustable shock, 4 ride modes, no track mode, full TFT instrumentation, and slightly less power than the Rs. Rs put down 114.9 HP and 56.7 lb-ft to the wheel, according to the MotoGP Works dyno. However, things aren't always as perfect as they seem, since we were sent the R model in the matte aluminum silver color, adding $250 extra, for a total of $11,500. A whole $1,000 more than the KTM. To confuse matters that much more, the base Street Triple S version starts at $9,950 and moves up to $10,200. While that may be the closest from a cost perspective, the S model is slightly detuned from the R, which is already a little down to the Rs, only gets 2 riding modes, lower spec Showa suspension, and basic pin slide 2-piston Nissan brakes. Neither the R or S gets a quick shifter, but going on cost and which features most closely line up, we opted for the Street Triple R to face the 790 Duke.